Right, so now we will be doing the exercise for marketing. Conduct the market answers using Microsoft Copilot. So suppose as a director for marketing research at Tailspin Toys, you must conduct a market answers of the toy industry to provide the company's senior leadership team. And your goal is to identify the latest trends, consumer preferences, and the most popular toys in the market. So you plan to use Microsoft Copilot to generate the answers. In doing so, you will apply the different best practices for creating effective prompts. So let's see this thing in action. I'm going into this Bing browser here, which is already open, into this M365. And as I said earlier as well, you should have a license available for it. Now, by going into this one, I'm going to click on this option here. And from here, you need to change from work to web. And by selecting this one, you can see there are some predefined options coming up here already. So you can select more balanced, more creative, more precise according to your requirement. In this particular prompt field, I'm going to put something here which I have already copied. I'm the director for marketing research for this particular company, Telson Toys, a US based toy manufacturer. Conduct a market answers of the toy industry to identify the sales figure, the latest trends, consumer preferences, and the most popular toys in the market. And you can see, guys, it is asking you to accept this use and privacy. So I said, okay. And here you go. You can see, guys, this entire information is keep on coming up here. Now you can review the result that is generated by Copilot in few seconds. You realize that the journal request, such as one of the one you submitted, provided some basic information such as market trends, consumer preferences, and your toy trends. However, you are also interested in gathering data on the toy industry, including market share, consumer feedback. You realize that you were a little too vague in your prior prompt since you failed to request this specific information. You remember that the best practices suggestions from your earlier training. So we can reiterate and reiterate and reiterate the things, right? So let's do that again. Now I'm going to put another thing into it. That answers was great. However, I'm also interested in including data on the toy industry, including market share and consumer feedback. So please amend your prior answers to include this information. And here you go. It is generating that. Now, by going into this one, suppose you realize that you are getting closer to your goal, but you are still missing some key information. After reviewing your prior prompt, you realize that you provided Copilot with your overall objective, the scope of the answers, and the data you needed. However, you failed to ask Copilot to analyze all this information so that you can make informed decision for the company, for their, for example, this Tailspin Toys business plan for the upcoming year. To correct this shortcoming, enter the prompt, which is like I have already noted down to save time. I think all the data is complete with all the information that you captured. Please analyze the data and identify the patterns, trends, and insights that can help me determine what Telson Toys business should business plan should be for the upcoming year. And by that, now you really like the information that Copilot provided. However, since this project is your first opportunity to provide a market answers report to your company's, you know, SLT, you are not sure if you are covering everything that might be of interest to them or not. So you decide to have Copilot help you determine if you're missing anything. So by that you can also check with Copilot. For example, please analyze the data in the market answers and business plan. Is there any other information that a toy company would typically request for market answers and business plans that I failed to request? If so, can you please amend your responses to include this information? Thank you. Now you can see, guys, it will also do that for you. Based on the information that Copilot provided, as you can see, it's keep on giving the response right really fast. So you realize that you can really maximize the effectiveness of your report by having Copilot include an answers of these areas. And to put the finishing touch right on your report, enter some more amendment part of it. For example, I'm going to add that here. Please amend the market answers to include an answers of each of these area for the toy industry. Also update the business plan that you created for the Tailspin toys based on these insights. Thank you. And you can see, guys, now the market answers and the business plan that Copilot generated for you was based on more balanced conversation style. It is ideal for users who want a balance between precious or maybe creativity. This style provides responses that are longer and more descriptive, right, than the more, precise style. As for your report, you wanted longer and more descriptive responses since you felt that your SLT expects that your level of details should be higher. However, you are curious to know as how the reports would looks, using the more creative style. So you may also select that one. Like for example, you can open a new tab, and in this particular tab, or let's say for example, I'm opening a new window here, and in this particular window, I'm going to use this one here, and you can see I have an option here, more creative. I'm changing it from more balanced, more precise, and more creative, right? Like that. And then I can go back and I can also, but you still want to be in that web mode only, right? So now I can do one thing. I can just simply minimize this, copy this response, which I have already by just pressing this copy button. I can copy this entire things easily. And then I'm going back into this one and opening this portal.office.com. That is also not required to be open, but I'm just keeping it everything in sync. So I'm just going to put that one here, and I'm saying more creative. Now you can see it is generating the response for you. So you can try those all options, more balanced, more creative, more precise, and use that one according to your requirement. After that, once you're done with this particular part, you can export a Copilot response as well in your Word format, in PDF or text format according to your requirement. Suppose you're done, so you can go into this export option and you have Word, PDF and text option. Accordingly, you can download that one. If you say PDF, it will give you the option to print as PDF, and you can simply go and print that and save it to your desired location of your choice. Done. So don't forget to change that more balanced, more creative according to your requirement and export options into it. And guys, never forget to check out some best practices. So I just quickly highlight that by using OneNote. So by going into this OneNote for Copilot, for example, I'm going to give you this one here. Give Copilot a point of view from which to answer, know what to avoid when creating a prompt, be polite, be curious, iterate, iterate, and iterate the things, experiment with different styles. Thank you, guys.